If you think faith only thrives when life is easy, you've already swallowed one of the enemy's favorite lies, because it's in the furnace of affliction that your spiritual muscles are forged, and if you're not careful, the very trial meant to elevate you can be the trap that derails you. The first way to stay strong in your faith during tough times is to expose the hidden war within your thoughts, because the battlefield is almost always internal before it becomes external. The enemy doesn't start by attacking your finances or relationships. He whispers, "Did God really say?" Just like he did in Genesis 3. Doubt is his weapon, and distraction is his disguise. That's why 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5 commands you to take every thought captive, because if you don't, your thoughts will take you captive. Don't negotiate with voices that didn't die for you. The second way is this: remember in the dark what God told you in the light. When the pain gets loud, his promises must get louder. Satan wants you to confuse silence for absence, but Isaiah 41 verse 10 shatters that illusion. Do not fear, for I am with you. That with is not poetic, it's a weapon. When your world is shaking, your faith doesn't need explanation, it needs anchoring. People around you may smile while secretly drowning, because the devil doesn't just want your faith weak, he wants it fake. So here's the third key: stop feeding your fear and start feeding your spirit. If you're scrolling more than you're praying, you're digesting anxiety, not peace. Romans 10 verse 17 says faith comes by hearing the word, not opinions, not your own overthinking, not a motivational quote, but the word. And when you replace your spiritual diet with noise, you starve your soul and wonder why your faith is collapsing under pressure. Your trial isn't just about suffering, it's about exposure. Trials reveal who you really trust, and some of you are discovering that your faith was in results, not the Redeemer. Here's the fourth way to stay strong: stop isolating and start interceding. Elijah was ready to die in 1 Kings 19, not because he lacked power, but because he lacked perspective. He thought he was alone, but God had reserved 7,000 others. Don't mistake your isolation for God's abandonment. Satan's oldest trick is to make you think you're the only one struggling, the only one doubting, the only one battling that secret addiction or fighting that silent bitterness. But James 5 verse 16 makes it clear: confess, pray, and you will be healed. You don't need a million friends, you need one believer who will go to war in prayer for you. And if that person doesn't exist in your life yet, be that person. Intercede for others even when you feel weak, because something supernatural happens when you shift from self-pity to spiritual warfare. Your pain doesn't disqualify your faith, it refines it. Stop letting your emotions prophesy over your future. God never promised a storm-free life, but he did promise a storm-proof foundation. In Matthew 7 verses 24 to 25, the wise build on the rock, and the rock doesn't move when the wind screams. So when life hits hard, you don't need a new word, you need to stand on the old one. Remind your soul who your God is, not who your fear says he isn't. You're not weak because you're weeping, Jesus wept too. You're not faithless because you're tired. Even Paul despaired of life itself in 2 Corinthians 1 verse 8. But he didn't stay there, because faith isn't the absence of pressure, it's obedience under pressure. So here's the final charge: don't you dare quit in the valley. That valley has a name. Psalm 23 calls it the valley of the shadow of death, but it also has a direction. Through. God doesn't take you to dark places to abandon you, he takes you through them to transform you. Don't just endure the fire, be refined by it. Refuse to lower your theology to match your trauma. Refuse to create a version of God that fits your pain. The truth is, every promise has a process, and every process has pressure, but if God allowed it, he intends to use it. Romans 8 verse 28 isn't a cliche, it's a contract. All things work together for good to those who love him, not just the good moments, not just the blessings, but the betrayal, the delay, the heartbreak. Your faith isn't fragile, it's being fortified. So rise up, speak life over your situation, war in prayer like your breakthrough depends on it, because it does, and walk like your God still parts seas, still shuts lions' mouths, and still brings resurrection out of graves. You may be walking through fire, but you're not walking alone. Keep the faith. Finish strong. Heaven is watching.